Okay. Before we move on to our session, I would like to uh, teach you how to install the code blocks, which is we are using to program C language. We call it as an IDE, integrated development environment. Okay. Let me share my screen. Okay. I hope you all can see my screen. Okay. Okay. First of all, you have to find out the codeblocks.org website, which can we can download the code blocks IDE from that particular site. Codeblocks.org. Okay. Whenever we log into this website, we will be have this kind of interface. Then you have to okay, you have to find the link for downloads and click on the binary release. Kavinda, I can see you that you are trying to tell something. Sashini. Yes. Yeah. Online or on site, I'm conducting same lab sessions, which is regarding to activity 1 to 11. Okay, but the thing is, we do not have any enough time to conduct all the activities on same day. If you want to do activity 8 to 11, you can do that particular activities and send me to my mail, and I'll check and I can revert it if there is some if there have some set changes. Okay. Okay. Then oh, Okay, go to the binary releases, go to downloads, and select download the binary releases, and you can download the code blocks ID from here. Okay, I prefer you to download the code blocks with make W compiler. Then it won't be any compiling errors with your ID. Okay. Okay. According to our first session, we have to introduce and learn about the algorithms. Okay. According to algorithms, activity 1 is write an algorithm to write an algorithm to input two numbers, multiply these numbers, and display the output. So I'm using draw.io online diagram software to make our algorithm, make our flowchart. Okay. I will choose a blank diagram. Okay, everyone, I hope you all know what is a flowchart, and we are using LABs to start and represent start and what else? Start and stop. We are using same type of ellipse to represent start and stop. Okay. Okay. Then the activity 1 was instructed to write an algorithm to input two numbers. So I hope you all know we are using ellipse to start and stop, right? Rectangles for statements, then statements, equations, likewise statements and equations. We can use parallelograms to represent inputs and outputs. Then we can use diamonds for condition, right? Okay, guys, I hope you can understand. If there is any confusions, you can directly ask from me, or you can put a message to your chat box and I'll reply. Okay. Okay, then okay, we can move to our activity 1 again. Okay, then we have to input two numbers. Okay. Uh, I can, first of all, I can output a message input to numbers. Yeah. First of all, I can give a message to user as input two numbers. Then, okay, input, I can input number one, then he gets the output. Two, then it says that multiply these numbers, and yeah, multiplication means it is, we can get these equations. Okay, then we can output our multiplication. So we can connect all these by using these kind of lines. Okay. 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 This is a simple flow chart that you can try by yourself. You can try on next two activities, which is to regarding that, yeah, regarding these flow chart. Okay. Any questions regarding this? Okay. ළමයි අපි start එකටයි stop එකටයි මේ වගේ ellipse තමයි use කරන්නේ මේ අපේ flow chart අඳිද්දී. මේ flow chart එකක් අඳින්නේ අපිට මේක බලාගෙන මේ flow chart එක බලාගෙන අපිට අපේ program එක plan කරගන්න පුළුවන් නිසා මේ flow chart එකට අදාළව අපි pseudo code එකක් ලියනවා. pseudo code එකම තමයි අපි සාමාන්‍යයෙන් අපේ program එක බවට convert කරගන්න. හරිද? මොකද ප්‍රශ්නයක් තියෙනවා නම් ඔයාලට අහන්න පුළුවන්. මොකද ප්‍රශ්නයක් තියෙනවද? Alright. I hope there is no any questions. Okay. Okay. We can move to the our C programming. part. Hari. Okay. I hope you can download the code blocks ID and install. You can install the code blocks ID to your personal computer or your laptop. So after installing that code block software, you can be find these kind of logo, and whenever runs you this IDE, I'm using 17.12 version. I saw that the latest version was 20.03 version, but it doesn't matter. The same, you can use same IDE. We are using C programming, and there is no any various differences between these versions. Okay, now you can see my interface. We will be have this kind of interface whenever we are running this code blocks IDE. So I'm going to create a new project, which you can find from here, and you can go to file and select new, and you can select a new project from here as well. Okay, if I click on the new project option, we have these options. So what we are doing is we are running a console application. Okay, so I'm selecting console application option and click on the go button. Then they ask what are the preferred language that you are going to program. So there are two options, which is C language and C++ language. So select on the C and click on the next. Then they will ask what is the project title. So I'm going to my first C. I'm going to give a project title as my first C. Then you can select a location. There we can save our C program file. So work files. So I'm creating my project in this particular location. Then they will ask what is the compiler that you want to compile. I'm using my default compiler, and I'm click on finish. Okay, then from my left hand side, I'm having some project some workspace. So in my workspace, this is my sources according to my project, and I'm expanding it and click on this main.c file. So then there will be have some codes, inbuilt codes. So okay, we can run these codes. Before we run, we have to build this file. So from here, we can build our file. Guys, give me 2 minutes, okay? I'll be right back. Okay, everyone. Mhm. Okay, from here, from here, you can find the built-in tool and running tool. From this button, you can build and compile at once. Okay. 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 Let me increase the size of my codes. Okay. Whenever build these programs, we will have some build logs, build messages, and kind of things. So whenever we are building each program, so it will inform us about what are the errors, what are the warnings, and what is the compile time. Likewise, okay. So whenever running this program, a black window will be appear. So we call this window, this commanding window, as our console. හරිද? So මේක තමයි අපේ console එක. මේකට තමයි අපි console එක කියලා කියන්නේ. හරිද? මේකේ තමයි අපි දැන් වැඩ කරන්න හදන්නේ. අපි හදන console application. So this is my okay. This is the word that we are giving to print on our console. So it will print like this. Okay. Okay, we can move on to the activity number 4. So activity number 4 means write in a program to print welcome to C in 3 lines and your name. So okay, before move on to that, I would like to teach you something about this printing function. So from here, okay, let me erase this. Okay, this is the structure of a C program. Okay, make a C program, make a structure. So there will be a libraries and we should have a main function. So we can recognize a function if there is a brackets with some words. We can introduce these kind of words as functions. So in this particular program, this is the only function that we can find. So in every C program, we should have a main function to compile. If there is no any main function, your program will not be compiled correctly. Okay. Okay. As I said earlier, these are the libraries. So there might be various libraries. We can yeah. Okay. By this hash symbol, if I do enter some hash symbols, the program will recognize these as now he is trying to add some libraries. So these are the some kind of library extensions we can include. So we can define some libraries. So we can define errors. Likewise, if we use include libraries, there will be various library types. So if you want to do some mathematical parts, we can use math.h function. So I don't think that you can use this library or all these libraries. So okay, let me okay from this library we are introducing this as stdio.h library. This means standard input and output library. So inside this library, there we can find various inbuilt functions like printf, scanf. These two functions are the mostly using functions inside the our program, inside our program. So yeah, according to this printf function, this function is defined in the standard input and output library, and this file is added to the program when we compile in the program. So we can use this library. So okay, I'll comment this line. The use of printf function is to give an output to the user. Okay. The use of the scanf function is to get an inputs from the users. Okay. Okay. The printf function is used to give an output to the user. The scanf function is to get an input from the user. I hope you can understand these concepts. Okay. Let me start a new project. We can go for projects and click on the console applications and select language and outputs. Okay, you can see my projects from the left sides of my screen. So it is under management tool. So I have to expand this sources under output project. Then I will double click on this file. Okay. Okay. Lamai, as I said earlier, we are using printf function to give outputs. So let me welcome you all to C program. Then we have to add semicolon to end of each lines. If we are not adding any semicolons, whenever build this file, okay, Shifras, you asked me to why do you put .h? Okay, from .h uh, we are figuring out this is a library file. So whenever we are using any files, we are introducing them as some extensions from this file. This will be considered as C program file. Okay, whenever looking at the extension, we can figure out what kind of files are these files. So from .h we can figure out what kind of libraries that we can add to our library files. Okay, okay, let me compile this. So I did not input any semicolon to here. So let me build this. Whenever building this, you can see my screen. There is some error message. So from the build messages, you can find the build build error log. So okay, the IDE will show me the what are the errors that might can be happen, what are the warnings, and what is the compile time. So the line of that error can be occurs. So whenever I put in the semicolon, and let me compile, yeah, let me build this again. Okay, what did Kamindo, what did you mean by increase the size of main C? So you can increase the size of fonts by using control and your mouse cursor, mouse scrolling cursor. Then you can increase the size of these fonts, and I cannot figure what did you mean exactly meant by. So okay, let me run this program. When I run this program, so it will execute my particular message on this console. Okay, 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 let me add some another output. Hi, my name is Sadita. Let me build this again, and there is no any errors and warnings, so I can run my file. So as you can see, I've given these prints, these outputs with by using two printf functions, but in my console application, but in my console, you can see that there is no any line breaks. Make sure if you want some line breaks, you have to give the line breaks. So we can give a line breaks by using backslash with simple length. If I build this and run this again, you can see my print lines will use 2 lines to print my commands. Okay, if I give another backslash n to here and run this file, okay, you can see this these prints on my console application. Okay, okay, we can use okay, okay, if you don't want to compile, if you don't want to get an output from any function or any other line, you can use comments to disable those lines. So by slashes, double slashes, you can give instructions these are the these particular line is a comment, do not compile. So even if it is a function, it won't be compiled because of this two uh, these two slashes. Okay, let me compile run this file so you can see only this output will be print on my console. Okay, okay, activity 4 is asked for the to modify our program to print the that particular sentence in 3 lines. So I hope you guys can print this particular line in 3 lines. You just only want to give some backslash n to get some line breaks. I hope you guys understood the concept, basic concept of this uh, program file. So any questions regarding any questions up to now? Okay, guys, sorry for the delay. Okay, Shifras, you asked why is the 6th and 7th lines are blank. Ah, okay. Uh, okay, we can use blanks or we can print in one line, Shifras. It is a pro. If I want some, okay, okay, give me some comments in some. Okay, introduce my function is a ethic is for we are using for ethical purposes. So if I wrote some program, wrote some codes, I'm used to give some comments. So whenever another programmer will if find some if get some help from my codes, he can figure out uh, what what I did in these uh, particular codes. You can figure it out. Okay, we are using blanks for Okay, it doesn't important to use any blanks on our onto our program. Okay, mistakenly. Okay, as you can see, I'm giving my program like this. I'm uh, I'm modifying my program like this into one line. If I build this my program, it will be compiled without showing no any error, so no any warnings. So I can run my program. So okay, by using, okay, sorry for the delay, guys. Okay, by using these kind of blanks, I can organize my program clearly. Okay, Shifras, I hope you can understand.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, let's move on to the activity number 5, right? Okay, in activity number 5, we have to, yeah, handling user inputs and output and performing arithmetic operations. So they asked me to enter two numbers and print the sum of that particular two input values. So it's in session 8. I hope you guys are okay. Let me erase these lines. Okay, guys, 0. Okay, okay. Let me teach you something. In C language, in C programming language, there are 4 types of functions. Okay, the first two are what we can say. Oh, okay. No return type and no any parameters. Okay. Okay. The first one is no return type and no any parameters. The second one is with, okay, no return type again and with parameters. The third one is with return type and no fourth one is, my voice doesn't work, with Okay. Uh, in near future, you will be learn about these four kind of functions. So according to my main function, this is a function 2. A main function is a function 2, normal as like a normal function. So we are in by a structure, according to a structure of a function, we call this line as a return type. So I hope you guys know about the data types of that we are using in the C programming. We are using int, float, double, and char as for our data types. So in my return type, we are using a data type of my function. So I'm returning. So I have to return some integers to my function whenever call this function. So I have to introduce this function as int, and this is my function name. And if I okay, let me introduce some function. Okay, I hope that won't necessary. So we will be learn those things in near future. So let me introduce just no return type. If we don't want any return something, we can use this kind of keyword. Void is for introducing as no return type into our function. So I don't want any return function on my return in my main function. So I'm giving it as a void function. Okay, let me change this. So return nothing. So I can give as this. So this is my basic structure of a function in my main function. So we have given instructor to give two inputs and get some. Okay, first of all, okay guys, do you have the lab sheet with you? Lab sheet 1 with you? Do you have? Do you? Okay, I hope you guys communicate with me. Okay. Okay, there is some flow charts. By looking at that particular flow chart, we can we can plan our program with ourselves. Okay, so the flow chart says start a program. So we started our program. So then my flow chart indicates that you have to declare variable. So it is a statement. So it is it shows inside a rectangle. So okay, I'm declaring variable inside my according to my program, according to my given question scenario, it is said we have to input two numbers and print the sum. So I think I want three variables. Okay, can you guys let me know what is about about what is a variable? What is a variable? Anyone? What is a variable? Guys, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Here.
Okay. Who's that? AHL 1632. Okay. Your names are okay. Great. හරි. ළමයි මේ වෙනකන් අපි කරේ මෙහෙමයි. ෆන්ක්ෂන්ස් වර්ග හතරක් තියෙනවා. හරිද? මට රීකැප් එකක් මම මේ පොඩ්ඩක් okay. Okay. Yes. Madhush Govindraj. Yeah, it can store value. That CB1 ERH says that something that can be changed. Okay, a simple thing you can remember, like what is a variable. If someone asks from you about what is a variable, you can you can explain it as it is a memory location. A simple answer is it is a memory location. So we have to declare three memory locations for my program. So I'm using numbers, so I have to declare integer type variable as I can give number 1 and I have to give input number 2 and 1 for my summation, right? Okay, all these variables are according to integers, so I can declare these three variables as integer type variables. I can declare variables like this also. Okay, integer number 1, number 2, and number and summation variable to get my total value of my number 1 and number 2. So I'm commenting these lines. You can give a comment by using to declaring I give this as declaring variables. So then after that it says that enter first number. So I'm giving an output. No, it is inside a parallelogram, so it should be a input or output. So the program must instruct the user to what he or she has to do. So I am giving my program as please enter number 1, and I'm using a line break. Okay. Okay, let me compile this. There are some variables in line number 7. So unused variables. Okay, these variables are not used yet. So my compiler is giving 3 warnings on this time. Okay, it doesn't matter. It won't any harmful for my program. So let me run my program. So as we expected, it says that please enter number 1. So if I enter something, my program will close. As you can see. So okay, considering about this cursor is appears on, okay, every time he is looking for some inputs. So my program is says that please any key to continue. If I press any key, see, he's looking for some input. If I input something, he will stop the my console application. Okay. Okay, as we discussed earlier, we can use scanf to get some inputs from the user. Okay, this is how we get the input. So users will instructed to please enter number 1. So if I, okay, this is the structure of scanf function. We have to use double quotations, and we are using integer. We are getting integer type of input from the user. So we have to instruct the my function. You will be have some integer type instructions. So get it, and then we have to we have to we have to uh, we have to give the instruction. We have to store that particular input. So my program is to instructed to add number 1. So I'm telling my program to save this particular input into number 1 variable. Okay, if I compile this, okay, you can see there were 3 warnings. It reduced to 2 warnings. So I have used 1 variables from here. If I run this application, so you can see my cursor is he's waiting for get some input from me. So I can give some input. If I click on, if I give the 10, so and enter, it will store it in number 1 variable. Then you can see my program is to end of his lines. So likewise, I can get 2, 2. right? Before that, okay, I'm getting, okay. Okay, you can see the 1 is reduced to 1. So please enter number 1. I will enter number 10 to number 1 and 20 to number 2. So it will save into number 1 and 2. So the thing is my summation. So okay. Then after that, my flowchart says summation equals first number plus second number. Sum, my variable, is equals number 1 plus number 2. Okay. As you can see, this is a statement. This is a kind of a equation. So first of all, we have to introduce this variable as a changing, a countable variable. So we have to initialize these variables if something involves to some value changing things, you have to initialize them. So I will initialize 0 to my summation variable. So let me comment this. This is for initialize my summation. Okay, then after that, the program said print my my total value is, okay, whenever we are printing, we can use %d for print integers, then what is to print. So this is my variable. It will print here inside these double quotations. The summation value will print on here. If you can see, okay, I will, number 1 is equals to this, number 2 is equals to %d. Then the first %d marks for sum and second one is for number 2. Then I can introduce, you have to print number 1 in here, you have to print number 2 in here. So we have used all the integer data types, so it won't be necessary to okay. As you can see, there is no any errors, no any warnings, and my compiling time was 1 second. So let me print this, let me run this program. Please enter number 1. So I'm entering 50 to my number 1 and 10 to my number 2. So as you can see, my program gives me the expected output. My total value is 60. Yes, 50 plus 10 is 60. My entered first number is 50. My entered second number is as number 10. Okay. Any questions up to now, guys?
Sir, why put sum equal to 0?
Okay, why put sum equal? Okay, I think you're asking here, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we are okay. Uh, we introducing this as initializing a variable. We initialize variables if some variable is involving into some uh, equations, into some value changing things. Likewise, see, this is this is my this is a variable that I declare earlier, but in line number 12, my variable value is to change according to my number 1 and number 2. So we have to initialize this summation variable in earlier stage. The variable value can be changed. So you have to initialize your value as 10. If I give some initial value as 10, okay. Okay, let's check. Okay, okay. See, my value is changing, right? Okay, we can't okay, Janani. Okay, okay, everyone, we can't see. Why is that? My sharing is Hari. Lamai. Any questions? මොකක් හරි ප්‍රශ්නයක් තියෙනවා නම් අහන්න දැනට. මොනවා හරිම ප්‍රශ්නයක් තියෙනවා නම්. chat එක use කරන්නත් පුළුවන්. ඕගලන්ට mic එක on කරලා කතා කරන්නත් පුළුවන්. කවුරුත් නැද්ද? හරි. ජනනි. unmute කරන්න පුළුවන් නේද ඔයාට mic එක? Okay, Kasun. Kasun here. So then number 1 and number 2 values. Okay, number 1 and number 2 values also changing. Then we have to assign them into 0. Yeah, sure. It doesn't matter if our change variable value is changed. You have to initialize them too. But it won't necessary. We are getting only one input from a user. Okay. Hari, मैं करपु एवा. Okay, Zahir Abbas. How can we save our activities on lab? I hope you meant okay. Okay, if you can remember, when we are starting our project, they ask a location on here, right? So we can save our C programming, our programs on this particular folder. We can find it out. or if you are asking where we can save our labs on our LMS, so we have our online software to run on our LMS. We can save from there. You will be have some link to submit your lab works. I don't hope any yeah, it is not necessary to submit lab 1 things to your LMS because I hope this is not evaluating lab series. This is kind of just polishing your knowledge in programming, and from the lab number 2 it will be evaluated each and every guy. Okay, Abbas. හරි. මේක සබ්මිට් කරන විදිය ගැන නම් ඇහුවේ අපිට සබ්මිට් කරන්න පුළුවන් LMS එකේ ඒකට LMS එකේ ලින්ක් එකක් අපි දෙනවා සබ්මිෂන් ලින්ක් එකක් ඒකට අපිට අපේ මේ සේව් කරලා තියෙන තැනින් මේ ෆයිල් එක drag and drop කරලා අපිට සබ්මිට් කරන්න පුළුවන්. එහෙම නැත්නම් මම හිතන්නේ මේ lab 1 එක අපි කතා කරලා බලපු විදිහට මේක ඕගොල්ලන්ගේ knowledge එක polish කරන්න තියෙන lab series එකක්. lab number 2 එකේ ඉඳලා තමයි අපි evaluation එකක් ගන්න. y එකකුත් එක්ක. Okay, wait for a second. Okay, okay, we can move on to the okay, activity number 6. Yes. Oh, okay, Anna.
සම් එකට පස්සේ තියෙන printf එකේ කෝඩ් එක චුට්ටක් පෙන්වන්න පේන්නේ නැහැ ස්ක්‍රීන්
හරි. මම ඒක මෙහෙම කරන්නද මම ලයින්ස් දෙකකට දෙන්නද? එතකොට ඔයගලන්ට තේරෙනව නේද? දැන් ප්‍රශ්න නැහැනේ. නැත්තම් දැන් පේනවද?
ඔව් සර්.
Yes, sir.
හරි. හරි එතකන් කට්ටිය හරි මෙහෙම අපි මෙහෙම වැඩක් කරමු නැත්නම් ඇත්තටම මේ මමත් කියවනවා විතරයි කට්ටියට නිදි මතත් වෙන්න පුළුවන් okay guys, let's do kind of activity. Okay, let me modify Okay, everyone. Okay, everyone, modify the activity number 5, which is the, okay, did on here. This is the activity number 5, and modify the activity number 5 to get summation, multiplication, subtraction, and division. Mama hitana eka it will be a easy task, and you have 10 minutes to modify that particular codes, and okay, I will point out random guys to share their screen. It is no any force. Excuse me. Okay, okay, guys, you have 10 minutes to do this task, and yeah, I will point out random guys, or you can volunteer, and please, okay, you can, now you can continue. You have 10 minutes to complete this task. 1 year achi.
Yes, sir.
Okay, මොකද
Um,
ඔයාගේ
uh,
error එක
I'm,
කොහොමද?
I'm I'm getting error message, long message I typed on in the chat.
Yeah, I saw that you have sent it to me.
I think
Yeah,
it's about the compiler cannot find or
yeah,
something. I think.
yeah. It is about whenever you are installing, you haven't installed the Minx W version. So the easiest way is to uninstall all the program and install the program with Minx W version. Or otherwise, I have sent you some YouTube reference video, so
Okay.
you can refer it and you can solve that problem by referring that program. Okay.
Oh, okay. I will look into that. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Hari, any volunteers? Oh, come on, you have to modify these lines and you have to add more variables to get multiplication, division, and get subtraction. And yeah, anyone? කවුරු හරි ඉන්නවද කරලා ඉවර වුණා කෙනෙක්? Anyone who have finished? Okay. 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 You all are university students now. So you guys have to maintain your skills. So wait. Okay, I'm sorry for the delay, and let's modify this activity number 2. Okay, okay, anyone, any volunteering person? Any volunteers? Okay, let me modify. Okay, this is for multiplication. It is initialized for numeral and sub for subtraction, and summation multiplication, and div for my division. I can copy this and get multiplication for this, subtraction for this, and division for this. And multiplication means we have to add straw. Subtraction means number 1 to 1 must be subtract from the number 2, and okay. I think we have some power failure. Okay, do you guys have seen my any changes in my screen? Because I'm using my mobile phone for my audio audio device. So everyone, okay. Hmm. Jadi mobile phone can use lebih ini. Masih ada anak bulan sekolah tadi. Makin baruan pulang. Eight 8357921 921. Mobile looking log mobile looking now. Kiana belum conductor itu. Mana? Ano itu? Network yang natin itu lah. Hmm. 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 Uh, okay, guys. Okay, let's wait for 5 to 10 minutes. Otherwise, we can stop our session. And I hope you guys can understood the basic concepts of C program language. And okay, any questions regarding something? I hope you can hear me, no? Hello? Okay, one by
We can
one.
hear.
Okay. Yes. මොකක් හරි ප්‍රශ්නයක් තියෙනවා නම් අහන්න පුළුවන්. මොනවා හරිම දෙයක් තියෙනවා නම්. හරි guys, okay. I hope you remember that inside that scanf function and inside that printf function, I have used some percentage d for get some to introduce integer values to likewise we can use percentage lf for floating data type, sorry, percentage f for floating data type, percentage LF for double data type, and percentage C for char data type. You can introduce, this is a, you can introduce this is kind of a integer data type by using percentage D. You can introduce as this is floating data type using percentage F, and you can use percentage C for char data type. Okay, I hope you can understand that concepts. These are simple concepts. By lab number 2 you will be gain knowledge about some iterative things, some conditional things, likewise. Okay, so today we have to yeah, I plan to teach you about what are the conditional statements. So yeah, it is a really difficult time to, we all know. So that's why, because I can't even get internet connection for my PC from here. Okay, my PC was shut down. Any questions? කාට හරි මොනවා හරි ප්‍රශ්නයක් තියෙනවද? Okay, let me tell you something about C language. C language we are using C language for some like what we can say, some like circuit level programming kind of things. We can use Do you know guys about Arduino, about robotics? We are using Arduino for use robotics, and make some devices, make some sensors. We are using Arduino. The Arduino IDE was basically based on C language. The robotics වලදී එහෙම අපි පාවිච්චි කරන Arduino කියලා දේවල් තියෙනවා. ඔගොල්ලෝ සමහර දන්න කට්ටිය ඇති, නොදන්න කට්ටිය ඇති. අපි Arduino එහෙම ප්‍රෝග්‍රෑම් කරන්න ගොඩාක් ලේසි මේ C language වලින්. I think C is the basic level language. අපි හැමෝම මමත් ඇතුළුව. Even I'm learned C as my first language. මමත් C language එක තමයි මුලින්ම programming language එකක් විදිහට ඉගෙන ගත්තේ. Okay? හරි මොන හරි ප්‍රශ්න තියෙනවද? ඒ දේවල් ගැන හරි කතා කරමු. Any questions regarding anything? Anything? පිරිමි ළමයි ගොඩක් හිටියා නේද? පිරිමි ළමයින්වත් කතා කරන්නේ නැද්ද? Okay, I can see my participants is reducing rapidly.
Hello, sir.
Yeah. Oh, Chamad.
Hello, sir.
Oh, Chamad, මට ඇහෙනවා.
Sir, මට 16 වෙනිදා session එකට join වෙන්න බැරි වුණා. මේ අද
session
එකත් දෙකම same ද?
ඔව් same. මේ දෙකටම LAB01
okay.
කියන්නේ එකම ටිකක්. LAB2 differ වෙනවා. එතකොට LAB3 differ වෙනවා. LAB1 කියන්නේ same things අර delivering විදිහට deliver කරන විදිහ වෙනස් වෙයි. ඒ වුණාට එකම content එක තමයි කරන්නේ. හරිද?
Okay, sir.
හරි.
sir.
ඔව් හරි.
sir මගේ sir මයිලෑන් එකේ මේ මොකුත් පෙන්නන්නේ නැහැ මේ තාම සබ්ජෙක්ට් එකේම. මම දැන් අර අතර මගේ යාළුවෙක් link එක වල තමයි මේකට log වුනේ. කිසිම විස්තරයක් පෙන්නන්නේ නැහැ. මම අර ගීතා කියන මිස්ටර්ත් මේල් කරා යා කියන තාම මේක හදලා නැහැ කියලා මේ
ඔව් හරි මේ ඔයා කියන්නේ LMS එකේ issue එකක් නේ ඔය
අර මගේ මේ සබ්ජෙක්ට් එක වෙනන්න බෑ සර් ලින්ක් එහෙම ගන්න මොකුත් අර ක්‍රමයක් නැහැ
හරි මෙහෙමයි හරි දැනට මම හිතන්නේ ලබන මාසයේ දෙවෙනිදා තුන්වෙනිදා වෙද්දී තමයි අපිට තියෙන ඔක මේ සාමාන්‍යයෙන් issues සේරම ඉවර කරන්න සමහර issues තියෙනවා අපි ඔය මේ ඔකට ඉන්පුට් කරද්දී ගීතා මිස්ටර් කතා කරයින් පස්සේ මේ මොකද්ද කිව්වේ ගීතා මිස් කිව්වද
තාම කම්ප්ලීට් නෑ කියලා කියන තාම ඩෑෂ්බෝඩ් ඒ වුණාට මගේ යාළුවන්ට සාමාන්‍යයෙන් දාලා තියෙන ඩෑෂ්බෝඩ් එක
ඔව් මේ දැනට ඔයා මේ පොඩ්ඩක් ටච් එකේ ඉන්න යාළුවොත් එක්ක යාළුවන්ට එනවනේ මැසේජ් එක ඒක නිසා මේ දවස් ටිකට විතරක් මැනේජ් කරගමු
හරි ඔකේ
හරි okay wait hello
Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Wait a minute. Okay, hello everyone. Okay, Sahir. Oh,
Yes, sir. Sir, will we have every week classes for this subject? Or
no, Sahir. It will be scheduled. We have just only if we consider one course, there might be have day schools